Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have started a new lesson which is biological classification. There, we have discussed about the comparative differentiation among the all five kingdoms. Today, we will start and discuss in detail about the characteristics of Monera. So, the first kingdom that we have to discuss, which is Monerans. They are also called as prokaryota because they are the primitive groups without having any nucleus. So it includes the most primitive and the earliest forms of life on the earth, and they are present in almost all types of environment, as well as they are the oldest life forms upon the planet. So we may consider, for example, the member of this kingdom is bacteria, which is present in diverse types of habitats. They may be present within a handful of soil or in extreme adverse conditions. They may be hot springs or deserts, snow, marshy areas, deep oceans, or any other adverse situations where we may consider as life to be fatal. Whereas certain bacteria, they also survive as parasites upon their certain hosts. If we add some more characteristics to the kingdom Monera, we may add that they all are microscopic, unicellular. They may be colonial, motile, or non-motile organisms. The cell wall, which is present outer to the cell membrane, it is made up of peptidoglycans, which is a polymer of certain amino sugars and amino acids. We do have also discussed in class 9 that prokaryotes, they do not have any nucleus. So we have discussed that their genetic material lies within the cytoplasm, and which is called as nucleoid. Whereas if we concern about their ribosomes, they are also of 70s type, and other membrane bound organelles, they are also absent within the members of the kingdom Monerans. Regarding their nutrition is concerned, they may show either autotrophic or saprotrophic or parasitic mode of nutrition. They may reproduce asexually by binary fission or spores of certain types. Bacteria, they are divided into 4 categories on the basis of their cell shape. So they are of coccus shape, means they may be spherical. If they are rod shaped, they are in the group called bacillus, and if they are in the comma shaped, they are called as vibrio, and if they are in the spiral shaped, they are called as spirulum. So going through the diagram, we may observe these coccus or plural cocci, they are spherical shaped, whereas the bacilli, that is plural, singular is bacillus, they are in rod shaped, whereas in the case of spirilla, we may observe they are in the spiral shaped, and in the case of vibrio, they are comma shaped. Again, the bacteria is divided into 2 groups. The first called Archaebacteria and the second one Eubacteria. The Archaebacteria, as from the name it suggests, archae means old, or we may consider that they are the oldest and most primitive prokaryotes. They differ from the eubacteria in the absence of peptidoglycan in their cell walls, and they contains certain proteins and non-cellulosic polysaccharides, as well as their cell wall contains branched chain lipids within it. So the sequence of nucleotides in the ribosomal RNA is also quite different from other organisms. These groups, they show diverse types of habitats, and depending upon them, they are again categorized into three groups. They are methanogens, second halophiles, and third thermoacidophiles. So the first one, which is methanogens, it means they survive upon the marshy areas. They show anaerobic mode of respiration occurring within the marshy areas. For example, in the flooded rice fields, marshy areas, or they are also present as symbionts in the rumen of the herbivores, for example the cattle, the cow, buffaloes, etc., which helps in the fermentation process of cellulose. As well as the second group, which is halophiles, which means halo means saline, and phile, it has came from the word, which is a Greek word called philine, which means to show love or affection. So obviously the halophiles, they are present in highly saline medium, and they may be surviving as aerobic or anaerobic life forms. Whereas the third category within the Archaebacteria are thermoacidophiles. From the word we may split it. Thermo means high, means temperature, acidic means acidic medium, and philine, again the same word, means to show love or affection. So means they are able to survive in high temperature range with having acidic medium. For example, in the hot sulfur springs, where the pH is about 2 and temperature is around about 80 degrees Celsius, there these life forms, they are able to survive. Under aerobic conditions, they may also survive, whereas under anaerobic conditions, they are also able to survive within the sulfur springs. Now we'll discuss the second group within the monerans, which is eubacteria. EU, it means true or well developed. So they are the true bacteria, and they were first of all observed by the scientist Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and he called them as animalcules. If we go for the characteristic features, they have a thick cell wall made up of peptidoglycans, and the presence of peptidoglycan is again may have surrounded by an extra covering. If we go for the product method of reproduction, these groups, they reproduce asexually by binary fission under favorable conditions, as well as they may form spore also or produce endospores during unfavorable conditions. And regarding the sexual reproduction, they do not show the mode of reproduction, but genetic recombination is observed, and it is affected by the processes which are maybe conjugation or transformation or transduction. So again, the group Eubacteria may be categorized into two groups. The first group may be autotrophic, or which may be including photosynthetic life forms, in which they are able to prepare their own food, and the second group in which they are unable to prepare their own food or maybe heterotrophic life forms. So within the first group, which means the photosynthetic bacteria, for example, the cyanobacteria, are also called as blue-green algae. So these blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, they are having the pigment chlorophyll A, which is just similar to green plants. They are photosynthetic autotrophs and they are unicellular. They may be colonial, means they may be residing in colonies, or they are filamentous also. They survive in freshwater or marine or as terrestrial life forms. The colonies are generally surrounded by a gelatinous sheet that you may see in the picture. It has been shown the mucilaginous sheet which is surrounding the entire colony of this particular blue-green algae. They mostly forms blooms in polluted water bodies, and some of them they are also able to fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cells which are called as heterocyst. For example, nostoc and Anabaena. If we go for the second group, within the eubacteria, there may be certain autotrophs which derive their nutrition from certain chemicals. So they are called as chemosynthetic autotrophs, means they oxidize certain inorganic substances such as nitrites, nitrates, ammonia, etc. to use the released energy for their ATP production. It helps in the maintenance or recycling of different nutrients within the nature. For example, the nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, iron, sulfur, etc. Now the next group within the eubacteria is heterotrophic bacteria. So these heterotrophic bacteria, they are most abundantly found in the nature and they mostly act as decomposers, means they help in the recycling of the nutrients within the nature, and they play a very much significant impact upon the life of human beings, as well as they also help in the formation of curd as well as in the fixation of nitrogen within the leguminous plant roots. And certain life forms, they are pathogenic, means they cause diseases in humans, in crop plants, or in other groups of animals. So we are acquainted with the different types of diseases which are caused due to bacteria. In our case, for example, typhoid, cholera, diphtheria, anthrax, tetanus. So many diseases do we know which are caused by these bacteria in human beings, as well as in the case of plants, for example, citrus canker, in the case of citrus plants, as well as in other animals. If we go for their mode of reproduction, we have discussed that they mostly reproduces by binary fission under, we can say, certain favorable conditions. When the conditions are favorable, they divide through binary fission, or during unfavorable conditions, they form the spore or endospore formation, as well as they also show the genetic recombination method, which may take place either through conjugation, transformation, or transduction. So till so far we have completed the first kingdom, the Monerans. In the next class we'll discuss about the Protistans. Till so far here, thank you, have a nice day.